Recommendations are we should avoid monopolizing what privacy technically is. You know, some people will say it's confidentiality. If you give your data, you're done. And I think this is too limited. I think we should try to keep different translations open and look for different creative designs that might surprise us in many ways, right? Privacy is being actively subverted, right? So data protection tells us our data is a personal property. If you're coming from a free software background, I think you don't want to go into this data is property relationship. I mean, I hope you question that. Privacy is being turned into a product, so you can pay and get it. And most importantly, the stuff I showed you with identity management, privacy is becoming a way of putting a little nice thing on surveillance systems. So, you know, the naked body scanner in airports, you know, we don't show your genitalia. Whoa, 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 it's privacy preserving, don't you love it? You know, like, we've got this labeling thing going on. I would really recommend everybody in this room, but also researchers, to follow privacy technologies closely. The constraints are greater. They need to be really robust, given some of the results from anonymization. And we need to evaluate their impact. So how are they being used? How are they actually not being used? How are they really functioning? It's very important to tell stories. I think we need a lot of anecdotes about what happens with the technology we produce. And some people claim privacy is dead. I'd say it's not dead. We're in the process of creating it and negotiating it, and to do that, we need to do it collectively. Thank you.
Thank you. We have just a couple minutes for a quick couple questions, and it looks like we have some from the outside world, IRC.
Yeah, so we do have two questions from the IRC. The first one is, does speaker think that the recent FTC report on privacy will make a difference for is redefines personal data as consumer data that can be reasonably linked to a specific consumer computer or other devices?
I lost the question halfway. Can you repeat it, please? Sorry.
Okay, I will repeat. Does speaker think that the recent FTC report on privacy will make a difference for is redefines personal data as consumer data that can be reasonably linked to the specific consumer computer or other device?
Okay, so the person is asking if the definition of personal data and the cautions given in the FTC report on privacy is going to make a difference. Yes. I'm not totally sure. I know that they gave, what is really nice about the FTC report is that they're actually taking some technological results into consideration, because most of these policy documents in data protection say they want to be technology neutral, which is a really weird concept. And what's nice in the FTC report is, you know, recognizing that researchers from technology have found some results and they're integrating that into policy. What they're not doing, for example, is really looking at some of the credential stuff or, you know, ways of doing technology and integrating that. So I'm really glad that the FTC report has taken a step away from technology neutrality, but at the same time, I think it's not enough. I hope that helps as an answer.
Thank you. And the other question is about the video, the anonymous city. Is it public available, and where can we download it?
The video is not publicly available, but I mean, there are a couple of reasons. I can be very open about it. A, there are some mistakes. We didn't mention Mr. Chaum. And that was because I'm coming from the German tradition. And I was very much in contact with Andreas Fitzmann, who actually told me the story. There are some mistakes in the models, and also there's the problem that the videos sometimes get interpreted as possibly criticizing anonymizers in a way like Eric Schmidt, like get rid of them. And that's not the point of the video, but there's a sequel that's coming up with the Anonymous City and Transparent City and a bridge connecting them, so wait up.
Okay, thank you.
Seda, I have a question regarding the technology of Microsoft and Stefan Brandt.
Yeah.
It's also used in their product. What do you think? It's also used in the Neue Personalausweis, the German system. Do you have any comments on that?
No, I don't. I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, I know that Microsoft has been with CardSpace for a long time, and they've been following this whole identity management matter. I think anything that has a key escrow is not going to work for me, so I'm just kind of taking a bit of a distance. But I don't know the details, I'm sorry. Yeah.
So I think it's great that science is proceeding in the field of anonymity, but what's your take on the legal situation? Don't you think that at least for the mainstream of law-obeding consumers or internet surfers, for example, in Germany, they won't be allowed to use anonymizing software at some point of time?
Well, the nice thing is that, I shouldn't say this loudly, but just a lot of people are mixing the fact that anonymization fails with anonymizers fail, and we hope that this continues, because that way they won't do any sort of legal decision-making about anonymizers. Somebody just needs to talk to Eric Schmidt and make him stop talking about illegalizing anonymizers, and then maybe people will forget about them. That's kind of our hope.
So I think we have time for one last question, if there is one.
Yeah, hello. I have to get back to the movie a little bit because it made a lot of fun of those anonymizers, but it put them in quite a different context. Is there a chance that at least some of these techniques are a little bit less ridiculous when we see them, actually in communication context, packet switching context, and so on? And second question, is there any chance that there might be something that is not actually shown in this movie, but might be another technique that helps?
Yeah, I mean, we're really aware that there's a possibility that the film is taken as a ridiculous interpretation, but it's actually kind of having fun while we're making these technologies. And I hope it's fun to watch. I mean, like, it kind of makes anonymity a fun thing, and I'm actually also developing a game right now so that people in a room can play anonymizers. Yeah, it's really funny, like people go crazy. Anyways, but I completely understand that there could be this possible take that it's ridiculizing anonymity, and anonymity is actually a very elegant, anonymizers are very elegant solutions on some level, right? I mean, they're very simple but very elegant on some level. And we're trying to bring that to the forth as well. Your second question, you have to remind me, I'm sorry.
Yeah, just your opinion on the future development of anonymizers, if there is any development, that there might be a technique we haven't yet found out.
I think,
which works.
Yeah, I mean, I think, what the guys did on Tuesday, Lexi and his colleague, on how you use data minimization to kind of understand, who's actually behind the anonymizer. I think there's going to be some counter technologies to that. That's pretty simple to do. And I know that there's a paper from Stanford about how you can hack data mining and the whole classification algorithms that they were using. So you can actually, profile the algorithms that are being used and then start hacking them. So I think we're going to see literally a war on like hacking data mining, and that's going to be a lot of fun.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's give Seda another round of applause.